Alrighty, so this is the project for grades K through 2, and on the bingo page there is a link for this picture, or there might just be a picture of it. This is just a little guide. You don't have to use this, and I'm actually going to simplify this for the especially the kindergartner and first graders. The second graders might be able to do the fishbowl like this. I'm going to simplify it a little bit for kindergarten and first grade. So what you've done hopefully so far is you've taken a look at the bingo page. There is a book on the bingo page called On Ray's Scissors, and I read the story, so if you'd like to listen to the story about Henri Matisse, the French artist, you can learn about him and his life. There's also a couple other links. One of them will take you to a real museum, the Tate Museum, and you can actually see Matisse's artwork in the museum. There's also another link that will take you to Tate's kids art site, and you can learn about Henri Matisse, and there's some more of his pictures. So for the kindergarten through second grade lesson, this is based on Henri Matisse's fishbowl painting. So you can see here that I changed the shape of the fishbowl, so you're going to be doing a rounded shape instead of a cylinder like this one, okay? So on your white paper, and by the way, you're going to need paper, pencil, erasers, you're going to need some crayons, you're also going to need some watercolor paints, and you're going to need a paintbrush about this size, and you're going to need a cup of water. Okay, so we're going to start with our fishbowl. It's going to go in the center. It's going to be about the size of your fist, and I'm going to start with an oval at the top. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to curve it in on each end. And then I'm going to round it on the bottom. Just like that. We are going to put some fish swimming in here, but before we do that, we're going to do the water line at the top. So we're going to draw a curving line. We're going to do a rounded line at the bottom. This is going to be where the pebbles are going to be, the colored pebbles. And we're going to draw our fish. The fish are goldfish. In Matisse's goldfish painting, they are shaped like I'm about to show you. So that we're going to do 3 fish. You can put your fish anywhere in your fish bowl you want. You start with an oval, and then you draw your triangle tail, and you connect it. And we're doing 3. And they can be swimming wherever you want them to swim inside your fish bowl. And they all don't have to be the same size or shape. I'm also going to draw some seaweed. Just little triangles. They can be curving, short, medium, tall. Just a good variety of shapes and sizes of seaweed. You can also do rocks, big rocks. I could have some big rocks in here as well. Circles and oval shapes. And then we're going to draw the tabletop. So the fishbowl is sitting on a tabletop. So I'm going to move my paper up a little bit. I'm going to draw a circle, and then I'm going to draw the legs for the table. And now I'm going to draw a line to separate the ceiling from the floor. And it starts right there at the top of the fishbowl area right there. Now, in Matisse's painting, there are lots of vibrant colors. There's lots of plants and flowers. Obviously, this fishbowl was in some sort of garden room. So you can be creative with whatever kinds of flower shapes you want. I'm going to do just some real curving flower shapes. Start with a circle for the beginning of it, and then I'm just going to, or the center of it, and then I'm going to just draw a curving shape around it. Okay, you can even have them going off the page if you want to. I'm going to draw some big leaf shapes as well. And some stems. You can do them differently if you'd like. All right, so down here at the bottom, there's going to be some flowers. So I'm going to draw some stems right here. Start with a U. And then I draw a zigzag. And then I'm going to draw some leaves. And then I'm going to draw another flower over here. Okay, so after you have used your pencil and you have all those basic things in, you're going to use crayons. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color my fish. Your fish don't have to be orange. They can be whatever color you want. And you want to color anything in the fishbowl. You want to put about medium pressure, color it in completely, because we're going to be using watercolor paints just in the water of the fishbowl. All right, I'm going to color in my seaweed. Okay, and then this one, I have already started to color in. So I'm going to work on this one now because it's just a little bit more colored in than the one that I was just doing. So let me finish coloring my fish. I'm going to go over my water line with a blue line. And I'm going to outline my fish bowl with a black crayon. Take your time tracing over your lines. All right, so the table can be whatever color you want. I'm outlining with a purple, and then I'm going to lightly color. You know, at school we use shading crayons, the crayons that don't have wrappers, but you can do this, you can give the same effect by just coloring really lightly with your crayons. If you wanted to do a pattern on the tabletop, you could. It doesn't have to be a solid color. You could, you know, have checkerboards or whatever you want. I'm going to outline this part of the table brown. You can do whatever colors you want. And then I'm going to lightly color. All right, I've already started some pebbles in here, and I really want you to try to fill it in as much as you can and press down a little bit with your crayons. And make them bright colors. They'll really stand out once we have the paint. Now, I already took a white crayon and I went over all of my, I did little bubbles, and it's hard for you to see, but I'm going to draw them right here. They're just little circles in white, okay? The reason why they're not showing up is because the crayons are white and the paper is white. But when we use our paint, we're going to color over that and they're going to show up, okay? This was my painted one. I also wanted to show you that I lightly colored around my flowers on the top and the bottom. And the last step is the paint. So I'm using watercolors and I'm using my cup and my brush. I'm only going to be using blue, okay? So I'm only going to be painting below the curving blue line to the bottom here. So I put water on my brush first. I go into my paint. You can choose whatever blue you want. And then you're just going to paint. And you can see that my little white bubbles are appearing. And make sure when you go, when you draw those white bubbles, you press down a little bit because they won't show up. Now, what else is going to happen is the paint is going to bubble up on top of the crayon. So sometimes my students want to paint around it. They don't paint over it, but I like to see those spots that kind of bubble up on top of the crayon. And the reason why this showed up so nicely, and I have all these bubbles, is because I pressed hard enough with my brush. And I'm trying to stay inside this line. If you accidentally go over this line, just have a paper towel handy and you can just pick up any of that blue paint that accidentally went outside the lines. So I'm painting all the way to the bottom on my beautiful fishbowl. All right. So let me show you again the finished project. That's what it's going to look like. So I appreciate you checking out the K through 2 lesson. If you have older brothers or sisters in 3, 4, or 5, they can also do the same lesson. You should check out the project for grades 3, 4, and 5. It is also based on Matisse. So you have plenty to do. If you get bored or the weather's not great and you can't get outside and play, I hope you will check out some of the art activities. The bingo page will be updated weekly. So we'll have some new things next week for bingo. So everybody take care. Make sure if you are doing any artwork at home, get your parents to take a picture of it and they can email it to me at school. And that's LaRoseMA@daretololearn.org. I would love to see your artwork. I miss all of you and I hope to be seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.